Yo, what the fuck, bro?
Say the same thing. Don't matter. White man been in Africa for the same amount of time as we been in there. But their rules don't apply. The same amount of time, meaning like what I mean is don't.
White man been in Africa the same amount.
Yeah, don't get. Yeah, he get the point I'm trying to make. You trying to be technical. The point I'm trying to make is the African man has. Hey, what's going on, man? How you been?
Good seeing you.
Good seeing you too. The white man been in Africa for at least, let's say, for the sake of argument, 2,500 years. But when he separates himself and understands that dichotomy, everybody gets it. But black people don't get that. But the Africans do. That's the fucked up part. The Africans totally know that the blacks in America are not the same as them.
Let me ask you this, though. Sorry.
But I don't want to stay on this too long. You got to get it.
All right. So during the transatlantic slave trade, was it just Judah took in, or did they take Africans too?
I wouldn't necessarily say it was only Judah took in, because sometimes in context Judah could encompass more than one tribe. But I would say it was only Israelites that went into slavery. Yeah, it was only Israelites in slavery.
Only Israelites. So
that's it.
No Africans.
When you do the history, man, you'll see them. Like it wasn't like it wasn't a chaotic event. Slavery was not a chaotic event. It was a very organized event.
The Africans.
Hold on, so I can pick you up.
You saying that the Africans coupled up with the white man to enslave the Israelites?
Absolutely. That's absolutely what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Nope. That's what I'm saying. It was not a chaotic event. Like we look at slavery like they just, because y'all see the roots and y'all see them running in the field and they grabbing them and snatching them. It was a very organized, structured event. That's why you can always look up the companies that was established with slavery and find out all the billionaires that they made was off of slave money. Insurance companies were started. They took cargo. They took names of slaves. They did all of that. So you may look at slave names and see an African name, no different than we're out here with American names, so to speak. Israelites. We go to the next one.
Brother, you'll be a powerful brother, man. If only you would study some history.
Yeah.
Put some history in your life, Captain. Because you got to come outside of the Bible, brother. The Bible is not all be all. You see? So this is why people ain't gonna respect the information. Only ones that's gonna respect and love you is brothers like me, because I understand you. I know what happened to us as a people. And then you're gonna have the Hebrews that's gonna love you, because you representing the Hebrew nation. But you got to study history. Hold on. You act like history is kryptonite to you, brother. Like kryptonite is to Superman, history is that kryptonite to the Hebrew Israelites. Y'all don't want to study no history. You think all I need is the Bible, and that's it. That's the biggest problem.
That's what I got you. We did a class on this a couple weeks ago, General Hyman, where he showed how the Ashanti tribe, for an example, were one of the tribes that meticulously knew who they were selling. I'll send you the link to the class if you want to see it. When y'all saying we don't study history, that's a lie. When y'all say I don't like history, that's a lie. Only thing I'll say about history is selective to whoever's writing it. If you take Egypt, for example, when they wanted to get rid of Queen Hatshepsut's records, they altered and wrote whatever they want. So even though I'm not saying it to be right or wrong,
It's like selected to
whoever is writing it.
The Bible is selected.
No, the one thing, here's how you know the Bible is not selective to who's writing it, because our wickedness is more so in it than our righteousness. Like it shows the good, the bad, the Bible shows the absolute everything about Israel. The most horrible things we've done and the greatest things we've done. So it's not selective. But if you go in the walls about Queen Hatshepsut, the pharaoh that came after her because they didn't like her when she was ruling, totally changed the records. So when you look at the walls, that's not accurate. American history, how many times do we know
Where you get that from?
all you gotta do is look it up. Y'all talk about you should know it, since you say I don't study history though. Okay, but you saying I don't study history, but I know that. That's why when I brought it up to Reggie,
He's a Kemetic scholar.
no, I'm not a Kemetic scholar. But when I brought it up to Reggie agreed. It's on video. It's on the tape that you put out when I brought it up. Thank you. So it's true. So now you take American history. What American history do y'all believe? Everything in American history, when you find out the truth, it's a lie. lie. So when y'all say I have a problem with history, I have a problem with believing that it's 100%. When you can find something else. But one second before you say that. When you say I'll be a powerful brother, I'm gonna say this. This is the only time I say it. I'm already powerful. Period. This chain.
You'll be even.
Oh no. When I go around this country, when I went to Israel, right? Brothers that are not Israelites, that come from Kemetic, 5%er, whatever it is that you want to come and commend me for the work that I do. With me saying we're not African, me not feeding a little boy, me saying we gotta separate. With everything that I have done since I have encountered y'all, I still am a powerful brother because I stand on one basic principle. Without black unity, we'll fail. Without structure, without law and order, we'll fail. We can't be concerned with what's going on a whole nother goddamn continent when we can't fix Harlem, Brooklyn, Jersey City, etc. like that. So when we can conquer that, then we can say we could branch off. That's why the white man could check outer space out. He could measure the deep depths of the sea. He could do all that bullshit. You know why he could do that? Because he got his own land. He got a nation. He got a military. You know how he got that? He didn't want to be nothing but white. We want to be every damn thing except black. And that's our problem. And that's why I am powerful. And that's why I get the respect. Because when people look at me, they don't see bullshit. Whether they disagree or agree, they see 100% genuine brother that believes everything that he says.
May I?
Period.
And I, of course, I mean, to observe you, Brother Captain Tazariot, who could not concur with that? Now, you've been on your square. You are constantly putting in that kind of time and that kind of effort. But I dare say that you would garner the same level of respect if you applied that same kind of commitment to Islam, to more Orthodox Christianity, because of your level of commitment. I would only say one thing, and not even open up the can of worms again, but like you said, unity, correct? Isn't that one of the very high priorities?
Well, not just unity, but coming together. Like we unified now.
Okay.
But when we separate, who's gonna contact me and say, let's do this?
Okay. Okay, sure.
You know what I mean? So like, that's what I think.
All right, so, well, okay, and then the classification of African and how that name was gotten, but there are large numbers of people on the planet that classify themselves as African, that share a similar hue and multiple hues, the origin of humanity. And I do respect for you to say, I still stand on, I wouldn't feed a young African, as if that's something you want to make sure you don't want us to ever forget. And there are those who self-identify as African. And no matter whose philosophy comes forward, I don't see that shifting. So in your unity, or the unity that you see, and again, we've rehashed this before, but if you want to, just for those who are just coming into your awareness and just finding out about you, how do you bring that to bear?
Because like unity, we got to be careful when we talk about unity, right? Unity is like you come together to an event or something like that, you unify men. But if you want to talk about different cultures, in my time in the conscious community, I don't see no unity there from none of them. And I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the people, like, in that conscious community, I'm not a part of it. I just run the shit. I run that shit like Jesse Owens. I run it. Anyway, but in that, wait, hold on, so like, in the conscious community, you have men that are looked at, and women, you have men and women in the conscious community that are looked at as pillars of that community, and they're full of shit. They're not unified. They can't sit in the room without ego swinging. You know what I mean? But here's the difference. You come into ISUPK, no matter what your position is, your role is, we like a damn well-oiled machine.
Okay.
We all just a cog. We're a cog. You put yourself in that cog and you just run. There's a certain way it gotta run. It gotta run this way. It can't run this way. It can't go up. It can't go down. It gotta go one way. So
I just got one question.
What I attribute that to is what we're guided by, we live by. Like, we ain't just saying be an Israelite, be an Israelite. Like cats say, we got to be Kemetic, be Kemetic, be Kemetic. I don't never see no law structure ever coming out of any of these scholars' mouth about what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. I don't see them speaking out against drug dealing, drug using, child outside of irritated genie, child molestation. I don't see none of these cats. All of them are worried about me, Prospect, another Israelite. Did Jesus exist? We waste all our time on garbage.
One question, Captain Desire.
Because they're not sincere in the first place. Like those men in the conscious community. Because they're not sincere in the first place. Get that on record. Let me finish. Don't stop. You listen. What you could do? Okay, then hold your peace, and then you can talk when I'm finished.
That's all I wanted.
You can always respond as soon as you get the mic. I don't care what you say. Nobody in that conscious community, them leaders, none of them are sincere. This is Captain Tazariak, ranked 13,000 ISUBK. I said it. None of y'all are sincere. If y'all want to prove me wrong, teach something other than being against the Bible, being against a Moor, being against a Muslim, being against any of that. When we do our radio show Cross the Line, if they ain't a guest on there, we're talking about what can fix us. My brothers down there on that street is talking about what can fix us. None of them are doing that. The only thing they'll talk about is some tax shit, clean up your credit. Yeah, brothers got to get their credit fixed and all that other old bullshit too. Say it again.
Now we're going to get off his station?
No, we're not. But none of them, who actually comes out here and says, brothers and sisters, we got to do X, Y, Z. We don't do that.
Let's go
You understand?
Let's go back and forth. We come out here and make speeches. So now I would only say
what about you?
No, I know that, but which true, and I'm about to go. But I will. But no, of course not. But I will leave this. And okay, I will leave this, and I will depart. Good brother. Like okay. Now, why would you say that?
Because you interrupted the whole flow. Like even in the back and forth, when you talk, I didn't interrupt you. But as soon as I talk, you interrupt me.
Because you
mad because I'm interrupting.
Okay, all right.
Don't turn me on.
Okay. Well, all right. So address this, brother Captain, and I've constantly sung your praises because I see your work. But you make this, and I don't. This is the part I don't like to do. But I'm only touch the surface of it because whenever our enemies have us cross-examining and critiquing each other's team, we two black teams, man. Okay, you may not like our player, our forward, our center. Y'all lost 4 seasons in a row. We still on a part of the same team. I think we want to see black people rise, man. You speak about sincerity. If you're sincere about having black people rise, then you reach out to your people. Not always beating them down. Look all you Kemetic niggas. Look at y'all. Y'all fight. Y'all ain't nothing. Y'all look at y'all. Y'all ain't unified. Look at us. Now that's the projection I get. Maybe some others get it, maybe not. But now let me look at the Israelite philosophy, the whole philosophy, man. You know how many of y'all got out here claiming the tribes, man? Do we have to sift through some of the innuendos and all that nonsense so our enemy can tune into this and see 2 of our strongest brothers from our communities going at each other? I gotta put down your camp. You gotta get up and show you better than my camp. And he gunning both of us down. So that's all I'm saying. And we do got a lot of stuff going on among us. You're right, man. We do got a clean house. Your critique is accurate. Right. But do you gotta make us less than? Aren't we still your brother, man? Aren't you still your brother? You had this beautiful event at Marcus Garvey Park. You call the whole community. They feed the community. I know these guys work, and I think I know some of your heart through your actions, man. All I say is, we all are flawed, man. None of y'all are sincere. Ain't nobody in the conscious community is sincere. Discipline I'm going on, he hasn't said a word. So I would do no less than allow him to respond to every single thing I say, and I will not say a word. And good brother, I say every word I say in respect. I respect you. I love you. You are my brother. So whatever rebuttal you have, I will quietly receive.
And I stand on that because they don't give a damn about the people if they're not making $1, or it's always about some. Like when I'm making that statement, right? I'm making that statement and I'm proving it by what is observed. observe me, like you said. We do events, we do speakings. The only man that I'm going to separate is Irritated Genie. That's the only one I'm going to separate. Everybody else, I have never seen them do anything that's really pro black people. Talking against the Bible, talking against, even us, if we're spending all our time talking against Kemet, we ain't shit either, but we don't do that. The other Israelites that you're talking about that's not ISUBK is also pushing keep the law, statutes, and commandments. We need structure. We need order. Who from the conscious community is talking about structure and order? All they do is bitch at each other. When you turn that shit on, SETI talking about this one all day. Then Pharaoh talking about this one. Sinetta talking about this one. Polite talking. That's all y'all do in that conscious community. Y'all the leaders. Y'all the leaders. I ain't talking about the people. You know who's suffering? They are. They suffering because all they get to do is see y'all bullshit. So now all they see is, let me finish. All they see is the bullshit bickering back and forth. This one accused of that one. This one accused of that one. When do y'all come together and it's not for a self-serving purpose? A self-serving. The self-serving purpose is this benefits me, so I'll do it. But if I got to sacrifice, I'm not doing that. We sacrifice our lives. My slavery allows me to travel to different states. And what I do when I go to them states, I link up with my brothers in those states. I teach class, go to camp, go in the streets. If I don't get no sleep, so be it. I ain't getting no sleep Wednesday. I taught all day Tuesday, went to my slavery, had to work all day, and I'll do it again. Came by, just got back at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm on the street now. That's a sacrifice. Nobody is doing that from the leaders. Are not doing it. Y'all are a fucked up example of what black men are supposed to be giving to the people. That's why we say ISUBK is the home of the truth, because you're not going to come here and be evil. You are forced to be a brother. You are forced to be a sister. There is no compromise with that. That's why we ain't molesting. We ain't going to jail. We ain't selling drugs. We ain't getting high. We ain't doing none of them things that all of us at one time were doing.
All right, Captain. That's being disingenuous, brother. Because you can go on YouTube, make sure this goes unedited. Hold on. You can go on YouTube, Captain, and you can see the Hebrews bitching and complaining about each other too. You see what I'm saying? This is not just in the conscious community. These are Hebrews that don't like each other, brother. That's being disingenuous, brother.
The one thing about it, really, in reality, GMS is the only organization that really goes at other organizations. Hashar, I can speak for Hashar, Prospect, and Daniela when I say that they don't waste time talking about other camps and stuff like that. When we look at our camp speakers and street speakers, we're not doing that. And that's why I said even the Israelites that are not in ISUBK are still pushing the law, still pushing brotherhood. So even though they're not necessarily in our organization, they still tired of the conditions that black folk are in. So I'm just naming people. Well, I think about the same about all of them. So Polite, Pharaoh, SETI, all of them could be in different organizations. What I'm saying is none of them are really pushing repentance for what we are doing. We getting killed left and right, not just by the white man, but by each other. Who's on the front line to say, drug dealer, you should be put to death for dealing that drug? For this child molester, letting it slide. Who's against that? We did a whole goddamn rally 2 years, was it 2 years ago, 2016? 2016, right? We did a whole rally for the child molestation when that shit came out with Bambaataa. Who stayed with us? Nobody, because they full of shit. But they'll come out here, make a video, talk about this one, and black people, one problem black people got is we love that controversy. we love the controversy. Leaders are supposed to know that they love the controversy and not give them what they want, but give them what they need. That's what we do in that corner. So that's when I say the conscious community is just not sincere. If you want to prove me wrong, show me by your work. I don't need your words. I don't need tapes. I don't need you to say Tazariak ain't shit. Get your ass out on the street where black people is at, like we on the street where black people is at. That's it.
Who can argue with that? Who can argue with that question?
I got about 2 more questions.
Peace, brother. I just got one thing to ask you, though, man. You know, we'll really say the same individuals that taught us these things that we are doing now was once our students. You understand? We taught them, and we became their students. Before the 13 colonies came over here to Americas, They was doing all of this foolery, fighting amongst each other about religion, everything, status, everything, even ethnic. We have taken on their teachings. We're doing what they're doing, and we continue to do this over and over and over and over again, but we're not even paying attention to it. Our religion is what they gave us. You know what I'm saying? All our gangster ways, it came from them. Everything, the barbaric things that we taking on comes from the European. And the biggest problem that we have, we're not seeing it because we're so blinded because we want to be like them. We say we don't want to be like them, but we really do want to be like them. We're so lost in finding who we are as an individual, and that's the problem we have. Even our African brothers and sisters are over in Africa. Any person that's melanin born wants to be like a white man, and that's all I got to say.
That's why, like, in order for us to really get right, like Christ said, no man put new wine into old bottles. You got to put new wine into new bottles. So what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to take all this information we learned being over in this slavery, and we got to pour all that shit out. And then we got to start over. And the foundation of black people starts with brotherhood and sisterhood. When I say brotherhood, it encompasses sisterhood as well. Family, if you want to say one word. We have to have compassion, number one, which black people don't have, and prioritize. Like, we have to, like, I'll use this word, but I'm using it loosely because we really don't have the power to be this, but we have to be racist. Racist in a sense, like, we've been in a state of emergency since we've been over here in America, but we've been seduced so much that we don't think we're in a state of emergency. So we'll see the killings or whatever, and then a day or two will go by, and then we'll forget about it. And then we go right back to business as usual. The black man and black woman has to be the number one priority until we are out of this situation. That's why, although I'm fine, like I'm fine, my family's fine, my children's fine or whatever, but because my people are not fine, I can't stay in the house. I have to come outside. So I agree with you when you say what you said, but we have to start there. It's almost like we got to have levels. We ain't ready to be, like we always want to talk about these economics or whatever like that, but we ain't ready to be a brother to a brother to be able to deal with him righteously in his economics. That's why every time somebody deal with a brother, what you always hear, he stole this money from me, he stole that money from me. Because if you don't look at him as a brother, but look at him as a Vic, it'll never change. So that's when you say we learn from that's what we learned from the white man. Like the white man, the white man came over here with the Native Indians, pretended to be a brother, made all treaties, made all these type of deals with him, and then what happened once he got the shit? He took it and killed them.
And gave us a Bible too.
That's what we learned. That's what we learned, and that's what we learned from the white man. We learned from the white man. The white man didn't get that from the Bible. We learned from the white man is to take advantage of anybody for my own means. The Bible would say, love thy brother as thyself. So I wouldn't want nobody to take advantage of me, so I'm not going to take advantage of that brother. This is the last question.
Nah, come on, man.
This is the last one.
They got real work.
Yes, I kind of have a little question because I just heard this king just mention something really that really makes sense. So basically, how come a 10% of the world population, the white man, is controlling everybody? You go to Africa, we have the same problem. You go to London, we got the same problem. You go to America, we got the same problem. I'm African, but when the police pull me over, I'm scared to death. The same too. So what's the problem? And basically, I think there is something more important that we should focus than religion. We should come together first to be one and should face the enemy. But I see what I just heard from here is like division. I believe in this, you believe in that, you're not my brother, we're not. But I think we got something more important. Why can't we just come together? Like in Africa, they teach us about the black men in America, like the white men still. Gangster movie, prostitution, guns, everything. Of course we scared. The first time I got in America, I was scared of the black men. Because what they show us on TV. Yeah, that's what they show us. Like gangster, like American black people are killed. So that's not my fault. So when you, yeah, that's the same thing. So what it is, division to conquer, right? So divide to conquer. So we gotta come together to fix our problem, to know what's right and what's wrong. So basically, that's what I had to say.
Okay.
not just Africans, blacks in America. He's also an enemy with the Arabs. They just bombed Syria. He's an enemy with them. What I would suggest is you take your African brothers and y'all come together and deal with y'all problems. We take our brothers and we deal with our problems. Africans always like to say that Africans want to be joined together, but when the Haitians wanted to join Africa, Africa denied them.
They did reverse that. You are aware of that, correct?
They could have reversed it. That's
They did.
fine.
They did. They
Okay.
are now part of the African Union.
I would have to look it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was reversed.
No sweat. I'll look it up, but until I find otherwise, I'm not sure of that. So when it comes to this so-called unity, on an individual basis, you may find an African brother that wants to be unified with black people, but as a whole, Africans don't. That's why I use the Haitians and the Africans as an example. For black people in America, even with what the Africans said, I never hear of Africans being profiled, ever. I never hear of Africans being shot. Maybe one. That's one. But when you think of the 100 and something brothers that done got killed this year in America, they're all, I can't be concerned with a whole nother continent. That's your continent. That's not, hey, okay, where at over there? Where over in Africa? That whole, where?
South Africa.
How many countries in South Africa?
South Africa.
How many countries are in South Africa? This is what I mean when I say, I just said we have to prioritize us. And y'all already taking me over to another country. This is the problem. It's not.
I want to
Are y'all kidding me? Are y'all kidding me right now? So now I got to be worried about South Africa. I can't worry about Harlem no more. Because now I got to focus on South Africa. Then what are you saying?
No, I don't want to.
It's only Africa. Chinese people, why they not worrying about their issue? Nobody is profiling them because they got a home base. They got something that if somebody got killed here, the China president gonna call and say, hey, y'all gotta watch out because they got a home. Why African people don't have power? Because we don't have a home base. That's the only problem. Land base, we don't have a land base, sir.
It's not my fault the deal that y'all made with the white man fucked y'all over. Because I didn't hear that. I didn't hear none of that shit when slaves was being sold to the white man. It's like the white man coming to me now saying, this what he's saying is no different than the white man say, well, I wasn't back then, because that's what his response gonna be. Well, those was my ancestors, but we gotta get along now. How can I get along with somebody that had a hand in what happened to me? I can't get mad. Excuse me. I can't feel compassion for you.
That's what they told you in the That's not true.
When you talk, I'm quiet. When I talk, you be quiet. No problem. I can't feel compassion for what y'all going through now. Because where was the compassion when my ancestors was going through what we was going through at the hands of your people? Your people are the reason why there are blacks in this condition in America. And now you want me to feel sorry for South Africa, West Africa, or any other part of Africa? Fuck them. Where was the love for us when we was in chains? Our babies is killed, hung, lynched. Where the graves of our slaves at? You can't even fucking find them because of what y'all did. And now I'm supposed to be like, well, I gotta care about Africa now. Let me worry about, man, fuck Africa. They can kiss my ass. Black people are who I love, who I will stand with. And when they get in their position of power, then maybe we can talk and say, well, what type of deals we can make? Y'all fucked up y'all deal. Yo, you should get mad at your ancestors for whatever deal they made with the white Europeans when they sold us, and knowing the white man was gonna renege, go talk to them. Don't talk to me and now you want me to fight your fight? Right, the brothers is in the military. You know which fight? Brothers flying them drones and all that shit in the military right now, fighting the white man's fight against an enemy that's not his. Now you want me to fight for you when you're my enemy? Kiss my ass, man. No, I told before. One second. No, I'm not saying that he don't. I'm not saying that you don't have a white man problem. But that's your fault. You made the deal. What y'all should have did, y'all should have stayed at war with him and never made a treaty with him. That's what you should have did. Why did you make a treaty with him to sell us?
Okay, brother, let me tell you something. I understand you smart and you bright, and I really appreciate this, what you're doing. And I really appreciate it, because this is better than being a gangster or something like that. But what you got in history about there is a treaty, that's wrong. That's not true. You heard about Shaka Zulu? What happened? They came to Africa trying to steal black people, African people to bring them here. You heard about Lajor, you heard about Maba Jacoba, you heard about a lot of stuff. A lot of Africans was fighting against the white men because they're trying to steal some black people and brought them here. You're talking about treaties. Brother, no. That's not right. That's white man history. That's division. They sold y'all. African people don't want y'all. They sold y'all. That's why we rich out here. That's not true, bro. Yo, he's reading the white man's book.
Let me.
I want to talk.
1 second. I want to clarify. I just want to clarify, right? I don't agree with Tazariak's position, right? Your history needs to be brushed up on, my young Wolof brother, right? There was collaboration on the African side of the transatlantic slave trade and the trans-Saharan slave trade, right? There was collaboration from your people, Wolof, from Mandinka, from Fulahs, from when they began to be Islamicized. What happens is, right? What happens is, right? We become. No, I'm not. But what we become is we become the best Muslims. You understand? That's how you got Tuba in Senegal, the holy city. We become proper Muslims. And then we look down on people that's kind of slipping. Like we have cultural fusion with the Islam. You know, we may still see the voodoo man, right? But we Muslims. We might still practice little dancing, but we Muslims. And that caused the division, that caused a lot of wars in Africa, brother, and a lot of slavery. And they did sell people to the white man. That's just reality.
I was gonna say, in terms of like what the brother was saying, based on like the treaties he was talking about with Africa, which there's truth to that. If you're a black person in America today, and what you got in your ID is or you got a passport, or you prescribe to American citizenship, you have basically signed a treaty too. No different. But I want to say this: every group of individuals, every group of black folks have black devils amongst us. It's basic. And as many mentors and elders have said time and time again, we're righteous by birth, wicked by circumstance. So when you see brothers that have done what they've done, just like here in the hood, you could go, you could see it, just like brothers in Africa, they wicked by circumstance. When you look at the elevation of our people on the continent, when you look at what happened on the Nile, we had civilization across Africa. Khalid Muhammad said, the world is our home, Africa's our throne. We had civilizations across the planet. When you see what happened on the continent of Africa, what happened was the Nile Valley, because it was water, folks started to go closer to the Nile River Valley. And what happened was the culmination of every degree of information that we had on the continent came together in what they call Kemet. So it was the highest, it was an elevation of civilization in Kemet. Because what we did was we unified every degree of information. When white folks came to Kemet, what they did was they started killing, pillaging, and disrupting the information. So you had brothers had to leave. Just like when you see refugees dip, they took one degree of information. Someone went to India, created yoga. They took one degree of information. Someone went to China and created Buddhism. They took one degree of information. Someone created the Israelites. They took one degree of information and they went someplace else. That's what happened. The only way we gonna get back to where we need to be is when we unify all of the degrees of information again. That's all they did. They divided all of the degrees of information. There's 300 degrees of information. If you identify yourself as one degree of information, that's when you stepped off the throne of God. That's when you stepped off the throne of God. And Dr. York taught that decades ago. Khalid Muhammad left. I'm just keeping it 100. I was in Virginia when Khalid Muhammad left Farrakhan because he was starting a new Black Panther Party, and they killed him and Dr. York the same year. Do the math in Georgia. Why? Because both of those black men was trying to unify us, but outside of the 1 degrees that folks is holding on to. You can never be a god and you holding on to 1 degree. You can never raise a queen and you holding on 1 degree. Pace.
In closing, now I see why the Black Panther movie makes billions of dollars, and Nat Turner movie might have made $50 or $60 million because we love fantasy more than we love reality. Like when you say Africa is our throne and our home and all that stuff is good, but the reality is, let's go for the sake of argument, Africa could be our home. Let's go for that argument. We ain't in Africa right now. We're here. We have to deal with this reality. It'd be like Kemet has become Christianity. It's a fantasy world. So